Hello everyone, it's Melissa Faust from StampWithMelissa.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in the great state of Minnesota, and I am so excited that you are joining me for today's Craft and Chat video. Today we are making a really super fun Kite Popout card. How cool is that? So I am super excited to show you all about how I made mine. I think I'm slipping, hold on. I just noticed it started to go Zoop. Probably a slow gradual thing, but anyway, I'm super excited to show you how I made this card. I am going to give you measurements, tell you what I used, all that good stuff. So thanks so much for joining me today. Down in the description box below this video, I will have a blog post with today's project, so you can look for pictures, measurements, supplies. I will also mention the measurements during the video, but if you want to see them written, head over to that blog post so you can see that, okay? What else do I want to tell you quick? I do have a summer creative escape coming up. The bundles that we're using for today's project are part of Creative Escape, so I am posting this on May 3rd, and Creative Escape registration is still open through May 9th, 2025. So if you need that link, go ahead and send me an email, melissa@stampwithmelissa.com, and I will get that link sent over to you so that you can join in on the fun, okay? All right, thanks, and let's go ahead and get started. So the card we're making today is using some sets from this beautiful new annual catalog. The day I'm actually releasing this video on May 3rd, the catalog is not yet live, so I can't show you the inside. But lucky for both of us, the suite that's featured on the outside of the catalog is actually the suite that we are using. So we've got these two fun bundles here. So Sweet Blooms, you can see the beautiful stamp set and the matching dies. And then look at this one, Pretty Florals. Isn't that just gorgeous? We're not going to use the stamp set in today's card, but we are going to use these dies, the Pretty Florals dies. I just love it, and this is the one we're going to use today. Just gorgeous. And I have made so many cards already with this. The annual catalog does launch on Tuesday, May 6th, so you might be watching this video once it's finally live, but just in case. I can't open it yet until, May 6th, 2025. So anyway, I have made so many cards with these sets. It is also our Summer Creative Escape. These are our featured bundles for that. And if you're not registered for that, you're going to want to do that. That's open through May 9th, and it's going to be epic. But anyway, I wanted to just show you here. So we are making this really cute Kite Pop-Out card. How fun is that? It says bloom where you're planted. And I thought this was so super cute. I saw this originally from Tammy White. So we are going to go ahead and make this. Now there's lots of different things you can do with it, right? But I'm going to just share with you my version. And then obviously you can adapt it for your needs. Like for example, this is Darling Duckling, one of our new in colors. I'm using a piece that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You could have half of a card base and have this open like a full card, but I liked just having that area to write on the inside here. I also went with basic white for my kite, so I didn't have to worry about any insert pieces there, but you absolutely could change up the colors and all of that too. So, and by the way, I will have all of the measurements on my blog post, so I am going to mention them during the video. That's why I have the post-it, so I remember. But I will have those on my blog post for today. The link for that is down in the description box of this video, so you can head over there, okay? All right, then I've got some beautiful DSP. This is, I want to say it's called the Florals and Bloom DSP. Let me open the catalog off camera to confirm that. But that's the name of the suite, Florals and Bloom. So I believe it's also the name of the DSP. Let's see here. Page 43. Yeah, Florals and Bloom DSP. Oh, you know what? This one might not be. Nope, this is not Florals and Bloom. I lied to you. I was like, I swear I used two different packs here. On the kite, we're going to use Florals and Bloom. This one is called, okay, hold on. You could tell. Okay, this one is Floral Impressions. That's what this is called. This is what this pack looks like. It's actually going to be, there it is right there, right? It's an online exclusive that is also debuting on May 6th. But I liked that Darling Duckling pattern, so that's why I had to use it. So, anywho, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes we just get a little confused. But it's all good. All good. Okay, so Floral Impressions here, and I am just going to adhere this to my Darling Duckling piece. Okay, and then we're actually going to go on and make the kite. So this is 10 inches by 4 inches, and I'm going to remove my Post-it, but I'm going to speak this out loud. But we're going to grab our trimmer, And we are going to get that cutting blade out of the way, okay? And we are going to score this at 5 inches. So we're just scoring it in half, and you can score the whole thing, okay? And then I'm going to slide this down to 3 inches. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna create the area where we cut our kite pieces, and 2 inches is kind of like the magic number here, but you'll see what I mean. Okay, so I line this up at 3 because I want 2 inches away from the score line, which you can't really see, but it's right here. So I'm just gonna go right in the gutter here, and I just have my pencil, and I'm just making little tick marks, okay? And then I'm gonna flip it all the way around and line it up at 3 again. And same thing. But you could also think of this as making little tick marks at 3 inches and 7 inches, right? So tick at 3, score at 5, tick at 7, okay? Then we'll pivot it to that short side here, and I'm gonna line it up at 2, so this is in half. And we're just gonna make a little pencil mark there, and I'm doing it on the bottom as well, which you can kind of see. It's very close to being off camera, but okay. So what we're gonna do is, before we start anything, I'm going to take this tick mark. Let me hold this up so you can hopefully see. All right, you can see that there. That's 3. Okay, score line at 5. Tick at 7. Same thing. I just marked both sides. Okay, so we're going to take top left tick mark to bottom right tick mark, and I've got these lined up in my track here, in my gutter, and we're going to score. Okay, all the way across. And then we're going to pivot this and do the same exact thing. So now I've got that top right tick mark, bottom left tick mark, just pivot those and score. Okay, this is going to create kind of this fun little middle section for us here. Okay, so next up what we need to do is we need to cut from our tick marks, or our edge of our scores, up to this tick mark up here, the center of our short side, okay? And I am going to use my trimmer for this. If you are really, really great at cutting like freehand with your scissors, absolutely go for it. That's not me. But we are going to go ahead and do that, and this is creating our kite. So just tick mark to tick mark, we're going to go ahead and cut here to create those pointed edges. Now these might not be super duper perfect, I'll be honest, on my original card, because you know I like to make the card, sometimes I like to make the card first just to make sure I understand it before I teach you. My like cuts and scores were not super duper perfect, so you've got these 4 triangles. You can save them or recycle them, whatever you'd like. Anyway, not always super duper perfect, but that's okay because it's handmade, right? So it doesn't always have to be. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my bone folder. I am going to fold this in half at that 5-inch score line that we did. Kind of looks like a baseball home plate. I mean, it's a little too tall on the point, but okay. And then what we need to do is we're going to kind of scrunch these in, right? So I just kind of folded that in, and then we can just kind of pivot this around. Oh my gosh, you guys are probably gonna be like, Melissa, stop saying pivot. You make me think of Friends. But you can kind of see how I'm just manipulating this with my fingers a little bit, and just kind of, you know, do it however the paper wants to fold. But I am just trying, and that actually went the wrong way, but it's okay because it's a score line, so you can just make it go the other way. See that, right? And so, oh, that was not, did you see how I just scored that or burnished that? That was not even on the fold. Okay, so you can kind of see how these are going to fold in, right? And it's going to be like, a little bulky. I'm fighting you a little bit. So I'm just going to really push those. And you can see how I'm slightly off. This is actually way, way, way better than my original. I'm slightly off here, but it's okay, right? But basically you've got those middle sections folded in. Let me put the bone folder down. Okay, you've got those folded in, so this can collapse all the way closed, okay? All right, what we're going to do then is, before I adhere anything, I'm just going to open this up, and I did kind of flatten it. It doesn't need to be flat, but take my strawberry slush ink pad. Oh my gosh, I think you guys are going to love these new ink colors. I mean, I'm always excited about new craft supplies, like it doesn't take much. But when I saw these ink colors, I was like, oh, these ones are good. And then I started playing with them, and I'm like, holy cow, like all 5 of them pair together really well. They pair together, I don't know, I put that away, I need it still. They pair together with like other colors really well. I just think this needs to be, like the ink colors need to be on your wish list ASAP. By the way, though, too, there was an issue with the cloud cover ink pad, the chemistry in the pad with the foam in the actual ink pad. So the chemistry of the ink with the chemistry of the pad kind of changed the color a little bit. So they have decided not to release a cloud cover ink pad. There will be a cloud cover re-inker, and so if you have those little Stampin' spots that are clean, they don't come inked, you can put your re-inker in there, just an FYI, in case you were curious, okay? All right, so I added seal to the back of my kite, so it's, you know, the back side of where I stamped that sentiment, and then we're going to just center this on our card front here, and go ahead and press that down. So cute, so fun, look at that. Isn't that so epic? I love it. Okay, so then let me grab here. We've got some DSP and some layers, okay? So we've got a piece of Darling Duckling that's 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. And we've got another one that is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And then we've got coordinating DSP. Now we're going to do some trimming on all of this. So you know I'm usually an 1/8 of an inch margin kind of girl. On these we're going a full 1/4 inch smaller. So this is 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. And this one is 2 1/2 by 1 1/2, okay? All right, so, and you can notice as well, it's more important for this one than this one, but we actually do want our DSP to be portrait. I did it landscape with this, and you can tell, I mean, most of it's covered, so it's fine, but you can tell that they were not the correct way, which honestly, if I had thought about it, I would have figured that out. But did I really think about it? No, I did not, because sometimes when you're crafting, you don't want to think, you just want to do, right? And that's why I'm here, so that I can learn these things, and I can mess up, and then I can tell you how I messed up, and then even if you make a mistake, hopefully it's not the same one. And you know what? Paper crafting is fun, and that's just how it should be. So, okay, let me think about this. Which way do we want to cut these? We want to cut these diagonal. And you know what? Let's start with this guy. I think, if I'm thinking right, because that's going to go there, I think we want to go top right to bottom left. And I'm starting with my plain cardstock because if I'm wrong, we can just, you know, you just flip it over. Yeah, top right to bottom left. That's what we want to do, okay? So we're going to do that. Now we've got square pieces, so it really doesn't matter. But that's all right. So I'm just lining up the points in my gutter and just cutting those. But you can see how it makes a fun kite shape, right? So we're going to take our DSP. Now the DSP, if you want all of the same pattern, on your whole kite, you're going to want to cut 2 pieces, okay? And then you'd have to like reverse it, right? Because we've got this piece that goes this way. And yes, you can do it like this, but it's upside down. This pattern actually doesn't look too bad. Like what's left on here doesn't look too bad, but I am going to flip it and use the other side. So if you wanted everything to be this side, you're going to want to cut 2 pieces at the 2 1/2 by 1 1/2. Cut one top right to bottom left, cut the other one top left to bottom right, if that makes sense. And then you can have that same pattern. Or if you're using something that's non-directional, you might be able to just, you know, spin it all the way around. However you want to do that. So, but you can then use the other pieces. So if I had cut extra pieces to have an all floral, I would have, I could use the back side for another kite. So, you know, no need to waste, right? But I liked the look of them being kind of opposite. I thought that was fun. So we can go ahead and glue all these things together. And I'm going to use my seal and layer these. Oh, I think I need to replace the blade on my trimmer. Oh, that was not straight. Whoops. You know what? It's fine. It looks... that center section is going to get covered, so I'm not going to worry about like peeling it off. I'm just going to do better on the next ones, right? Yeah, that one looks great. Anywho. Okay, so we've got this guy. And then we've got this one here. Okay, so when you make your card, because I know you're going to, right? That's your homework assignment. You need to make your version of this card. Please come over into my Facebook group and share it with me. I'd really love to see your creations. I will have the link for that down in the description box of this video. And, you know, we're a very nice group. One thing about my community is and it sounds kind of funny. I say I don't allow negativity, but nobody is negative. Like I think there was one person I had to kick out once, and I've been doing this for 9 years. So, you know, it's very rare. And if there's negativity, it's not allowed, and there isn't negativity, so you don't have to worry about it. All that to say, please come. It's a safe place to share your creations if you're a little bit nervous. I know sometimes like sharing for the first time can seem really like nerve-wracking, but I promise we are a nice group, and we would just really love to see what you create. We like to get ideas and just see, selfishly, I just want to see how you take like this kite card. I want to see how you make it. You know, you might make it different than I did, and I want to see it. So come over and share. The only thing is that there are group rules, so make sure you agree to those before you join in the group, okay? Facebook will prompt you for that. Okay, so I've got a scrap piece of basic white now, and strawberry slush ink. You guys, and if you are new here, just so you know, I am not known for being short-winded. I'm a Faust, and if you've ever met another member of the Faust family, we can chat for hours, I'm telling you. It's like, yeah, you're guaranteed to have a good conversation. Maybe, well, I hope it's a good conversation anyway. I feel like they are. Anywho, okay, so I stamped the word bloom in strawberry slush onto basic white. I am going to die cut this out. My die cutting machine is off camera. I'm not going to pull it in for this, but you know what I'm doing. So let me just get that cut. And then if you recall, on the inside we stamped where you're planted. So it's going to say bloom where you're planted. And I think that is such a sweet sentiment. I love that. Okay, so we've got this beautiful bloom, and then we've got this really cute, I do not know what kind of flower this is, so if you know, you can tell me in the comments. But I die cut out this flower from Lemon Lolly. I think Lemon Lolly looks really cool with Darling Duckling, so this is the die I used right there. And I just pre-did that because we didn't have to stamp it first, and we are going to pop it up on some dimensionals. Okay, and then this is going to go on the center of our kite, so where I kind of made it look a little goofy on my layer. Not to worry, because it's going to be hidden. And then I'm going to take bloom here, and let me grab, oh, I do. I have 3 mini dimensionals left. We're going to grab all 3 of those, just because these are very small areas. And I'm going to go in the L and both of the O's. And I'm debating, should I try to put something, did I put something here? I didn't on the M, but I did on the B. Okay, fine. I will cut some dimensionals. So I'm just going to cut the backings here, or the edges. You know what I mean. And you know what? We need 2, don't we? Because that, our card is what I call level 0, and our flower is level 1. We want our sentiment to go to level 2. And the LOO are going to be on top of level 1, right? So we only need 1 set of dimensionals. What's 1 level? Whatever. But the B will be on level 0, and we need it to go all the way to level 2, which means we need 2 dimensionals. And the M is just too skinny to fit anything there, but if you would like to, you can absolutely fit something in, okay? And then we'll just tack that down. I'm not too worried, though. Like, the M seems like it's pretty okay there. All right, then I've got this beautiful, these are the Pack Your Bags Twine 3-color pack. We've got Strawberry Slush, Azure Afternoon, and Shy Shamrock. And of course, we're going to use Strawberry Slush because that's the ink color we used. And Stampin' Up! Was so nice to us, and they actually released this along with that On The Go or Going Places DSP back in, what, March? And it had this beautiful color in it. And now we just get to like play. So I tied a bow with that. We're going to stick the knot on the glue dot, and then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I totally just, I didn't quite stab my finger, but I poked my finger. And we're just going to set that down right about there. So stinking cute. And then I'm going to flip and use that putty end, and these are the low profile dots. I'm going to use the gold ones here. Stick one there. And there. And that is our card for today. How do you like that one? I think it is so fun, such a different kind of card. Very easy to make once you've made one, right? You can make this for a lot of different occasions. And you know, it's just really fun. And who wouldn't love getting this in the mail? Also, it's not that thick, so it will mail in a regular envelope too. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for joining me for today's craft and chat. I almost said craft along. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That really helps me out on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I think that's all for today, and yeah, thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.